Hi YouTube. So I wanted to make a really quick video just to update you guys on what's going on at the moment. So I have moved back home to my parents' house, and I am in the process of looking for a new flat to go into in the coming year. So my plan is to stay here for about a month, and then try and find somewhere else to move into. Um, so that's the plan at the moment. It's kind of hard. The struggle of like finding a new flat is that you've kind of got these expectations, or I've kind of got these expectations of what kind of environment I want to be moving into. Um, and that environment doesn't necessarily exist. Um, so my plan is to, at this stage, just to just keep looking and see what is out there and see if maybe um, what I'm looking for turns up somewhere. I know that I have a very set budget of how much I would like to spend each week um, with buying my own. Of course, I want to buy my own food. So I want to go into a place where I know that I'm paying for everything to be available to me except for the food, which I'll be purchasing myself. So I've got a lot of options out there that are all like really really cheap, and um, they include like the prices include everything, which is really really great, and a lot of people want to buy their own food, which is really good as well. So my struggle is that I want to go into a flat with two other people maximum, and a lot of the flats that are out there at the moment are like 4 or 5 people already living in the flat, and they want someone else to move in, which is not really what I want to go into. I don't want to go into like a crowded situation. Um, so that's the one struggle. The other struggle is that my age is kind of a problem because I am almost 23, but I'm currently 20. So I'm currently 22, but I'm almost 23. In less than a month, I'll be 23. So the problem with that is that a lot of people that are my age are still considered students, which I was. Um, I was still a student this year, so I did fall into that category. But now I fall into the category of working professional. But a lot of people that are looking for flatmates don't really take my age um, as someone that is a working professional. They still kind of consider people my age to be the student type people that are still like partying and drinking and all that kind of stuff, which that part of my life is over, or I kind of like moved on from that part of my life, and I've decided, that I don't want to really fall into that category. And because I'm working now mostly full time, I kind of want to be with like-minded people who aren't going to get drunk every weekend, or have like big parties during the week. Like I don't really want to be in that kind of environment. And I really want to be in an environment where I know that other people around me are working either part-time or full-time. I just feel like that's a better environment for me because I know that I work, and and it's good if you're with other people who are like that rather than someone who um, is a student, because that can that's slightly less secure, I think, um, in my personal opinion, because you can decide to just stay at home and just be at home all the time, um, and then um, like studying, and then you can get kicked off your course or whatever, um, and the budget for student, if you're on like this living costs here, it's a maximum of 173 a week, I think. And if you're on the student allowance, it's a little bit more. But you don't really have that security of someone, you know, that's in like a full-time job, and you know that they're going to be able to pay the bills each week exactly, and you're not going to end up having to pay more because someone else can't afford it. Which is kind of what scared me out of the situation that I was in, because we were 3 people. I loved living there. Like, you know, it wasn't anything with the flat, and it wasn't anything like that. It was just, it was a financial thing. Because while I was earning a little bit more than the person that I was living with, it was still sort of, I still kind of felt it was a little bit unfair, because in the time that we were there, we'd gone through 2 flatmates. And so then each time, so when the first one left, you know, we had to pick up the slack, and we had to pay more money in so that we could afford to live there, on top of buying food, paying for the power, and for electricity. So we had to make sure that we had enough money for all of that, and it was just really, really stressful. It was really stressful for me because this was my final year of study, and I didn't really want to have all that stress on me, but I ended up having it, because stuff, you know, didn't work out. And then we got someone else who moved in, and they were a student, which, you know, we thought, okay, well, that's fine because we're close to the university. Anyway, and so, but she came in, and she was hardly ever at the house, which at first we were like, okay, well, you know, at least she's quiet, she's not having parties or anything like that. And then we started to realise, okay, well, she's going away more frequently, and she's staying away from the flat for longer periods of time. And then it kind of clicked, okay, we're in trouble here because something's going on that she's not telling us about. Um, and anyway, and then eventually she just turned up at the house one day and moved out. And so then again, so we were kind of secure for that time because she was still paying her bills, but you know, for that time that she was there, we were still kind of secure because things were being paid for, and you know, we weren't having to put in even more money to kind of keep up with bills. But then when she left, we had to pick up the slack again, and so then we were paying even more money into the account um, each week so that we could make the rental payments, and so we could make sure that we had enough money saved up for the power bill and the internet bill, which inconveniently happened in exactly the same week. Um, and then we also had to make sure that we had enough money to go and buy food, you know. And it was just really stressful, and you know, and when I first planned on moving out of the house, that wasn't really the thing, like, that wasn't the experience that I envisioned having as my first time moving out. I kind of thought that, you know, it would be a bit more of a secure place, and that I would be able to stay there for a long period of time. So it didn't work out like that, and it just kind of really bummed me out because I didn't get this experience that I was expecting, you know. I'd heard so many people say, oh, like they loved moving out and it was such a great experience, and they lived somewhere for like 6+ months, and it was really good, but I didn't feel like I was getting that, and it was just kind of really disappointing, and so that's why I decided to move out and find somewhere else. So perhaps I'm being a bit too picky, but I want to live somewhere where I know I'm going to be there for a long time, and I don't want it to be somewhere where the lease is going to run out in February, or where it's a whole bunch of students who are partying all the time and who don't have secure um, income, you know. And I know, and you know, knowing that they're going to be able to pay the bills every single week without fail, and I'm not going to have to end up picking up the slack because I'm earning more than them. And so that's my big struggle at the moment, is finding a place like that I know I'm going to be in for a long time. But yeah, so that's kind of, my age kind of plays into that factor, because I'm working, um, technically I'm still student age, but I'm a working professional. And a lot of people don't really see that. They want people who are mid-20s, so 25 plus, who are young professionals. Um, So that's kind of my struggle at the moment, but I am still going to keep looking, and I'm going to hopefully find something soon. So my current situation now is with my parents, and I have a lot of stuff in storage, because I pretty much bought an entire house of stuff. I had like my own couch, and I had my own dining set, and I had a coffee table, and I had my bed, and So like, I had all of that stuff. I had kitchen stuff and everything like that. I just had to put into boxes and put into storage because I couldn't bring it with me here. So yeah, so that's my situation at the moment. Just thought I would update for anyone that is watching this. So yeah, so I'm gonna keep looking in earnest for a place, and hopefully I find something reasonably soon. I do plan to move in. Obviously, I want to move in like early next year because then it's after Christmas and it's a little bit less stressful with financial situation. Because I still need to do some saving up so that I can pay, some of the necessary costs that come with moving into a flat. But yeah, so that's just a little update for you guys. And I will update again once there's something more exciting happening in my life. And I will let you guys know if I find a place, and I'm sure you guys will see a video from me when I do finally move into a new place. But yeah, that's just a quick update for you guys, which is actually quite long, I realise. Apologies for that. But I hope you guys enjoyed watching this, and if you guys have any like tips for me or like advice on how to make my next flooding experience more enjoyable, please leave these comments below because that's going to be my second time flooding, but I would love to have it my second time, and I just want to have like that's it. Like I don't really want there to be a whole lot more where I'm moving from like house to house within the next year because that just does not sound very appealing to me. I want to be kind of in one place for as long as I can. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will talk to you guys in my next one. Bye guys.